So there was a bookmark. Bookmark.
Yes. That year I did 3 pictures. One was a bookmark, and it had to be a certain size. So my husband Bob made these wooden plaques for all the people that wanted to enter. And they each got one to do,
Okay.
their design on. So, that morning of the show, we took the pictures in and they were hung. And Dwayne, my little one, came with his daddy and they were watching during the judging.
Go ahead.
And they looked at the bookmarks and then they go back and they put a sign on the bookmark that I did.
Mm-hmm.
First prize.
Wow.
So then I did, the same year I did a picture of a bird in the garden. Actually, there were 2 birds, I think.
2.
And a spider web. That was fun to do. Now that got honorable mention, I think. And there was another one. It was a card design. And I did a happy anniversary card. And in it, it had my sister, who now lived in Texas, who had just married a Texan man.
Oh yeah.
So he was on the card and he had his little Texas hat on. She had a little frilly dress for the Texan and the city girl. That got a first prize.
Wow.
So that year I got 2 first prizes.
That's awesome.
And then when they judged all the pictures in the show, the bookmark got best of show.
Really?
And so at the ceremonies at the end of the week, they gave me a silver cup engraved.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was special.
I wonder where that ended up.
It's here somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So anyway, then the next year, Princess Grace was a judge. And we had to do a picture for a child's room. So I did the Peaceable Kingdom. And it had the lion and the lamb and a big snake and some other critters in it. It's the first time that I ever did critters. And it was really fun. So anyway, Princess Grace was a judge that year.
Mm.
And it got first prize. So anyway, see, I got a few first prizes. All right.
Yeah.
So
You went on for a long time at that show too. Since
I was in it 50 years.
amazing.
Yes. And it was really fun. Some years I would do 3, sometimes 4 pictures for a show. And then when I started, it was an older woman who was head of the press flowers, Katie King. And she asked me, would you like to be chair?
Oh,
And
boy.
I said, oh, sure, what the heck?
Didn't know what you were getting into, huh?
No. So I did it for 7 years.
Wow.
And then another lady did it. And then my Mary started to enter. And so then the lady who was in charge got her to be her helper. And then after that, Mary was the head
Sure.
of it for
Yeah.
I don't know how many years.
Long time.
Yeah. So we've been involved a long time.
Yeah. Sure have.
And then I started a newsletter.
Oh, yeah.
When I finally ended, I had done 80 copies. I did it for 25 years,
Of the newsletter.
a newsletter.
You
And it had all the winners of the show, because nobody ever knew who, they never saw this.
Right.
The only thing they would show would be the best of show would be in the paper one
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's different now.
Big whoop for that.
Little different now. A little better.
Yeah. So, anyway, this woman in California, she had a newsletter and she was sending me stuff. And she said, I sent your newsletter to Mr. Suguno in Japan. And he's the head of the Press Flower Group in Japan. And are they dedicated? They have classes and materials you buy, all kind of stuff. And he would like to meet you. I said, oh, that's nice. And he'd like to meet some of your exhibitors because he wants to meet people from the United States that do the pressed flowers to see if we compete with them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we set it up, and I think I had maybe 10 of us ladies were there when he came. And he even visited my house. Yes.
I remember.
That's right. And so I was babysitting when he was coming. So I had the little one.
It wasn't me.
No, it was Ryan.
Ah.
And Ryan could be a little itch if he wanted.
Okay.
Which he wanted to be a lot. So I said, oh, what am I going to do with her? So I took him down to my neighbor down around the block. And he stayed there until after Mr. Seguino left. And so that was fun. And then we met in Philly with all the ladies. There were 10 of them came. And they brought their work that they'd like him to see. And he brought some of each one's work, except one lady. And I know she must have felt bad. She's a very nice lady. And he brought some of my work. And then they took it back to Japan, and they framed it their way.
Okay.
They are very meticulous in how they do their work. Not like some of us. So anyway, now, he entered the show himself the next year, and he won, I think, 3 prizes. One was the top prize, of course, and then 2 others. He didn't like the other ones because they were the big blue ribbon. He was used to being at the very top. Well, okay, then he joined, the next year he also entered. And this lady, whose pictures he didn't want, also entered. And her picture was picked over his. Now, isn't that karma or something?
Something.
So I know she felt really good after that.
Yeah. Well.
So even though you are very good at what you do, there always can be someone better. And you better like it.
Yeah.
Or try harder. So let's see. Then they made a book. Actually, a number of books. The first, the Japanese. And some of our ladies were pictured in the book. They had a couple pages with their work and a story about them. was very nice. So, made us very happy. So then Mr. Seguino decided that he wanted to have an international pressed flower group.
Mm.
So he invited myself from the United States, a lady from France, two ladies from England, and this lady from the Ukraine. We were all very good artists. And we were to be there when they had a meeting to establish this international group. And that's why he wanted people from different countries.
Where was this at?
In Japan.
Wow.
And we each had to get up on the stage and sit there. And they'd ask us one by one to get up and tell a little story about ourselves. And so we each had an interpreter.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Anyway, well, I mean, that's wonderful. But I'm thinking, is he going to say what I'm saying, or is he going to say something to make me look stupid? Well, I was telling a story about a picture I did about this, the witch and the, like Halloween. It was a Halloween. The witch and this little person looking at her with a little basket for goodies. And I said, I was the witch. And the little one was my grandson in the picture. Well, the interpreter turns to me and says, you want to say that? I said, sure.
Why not, right?
So everybody was laughing. I don't know what he said.
You said what you said, I think.
So anyway, that was fun. So they established this group, and he had all these things made for it. You could get a button, you could get a certificate saying that you're in this group, and you could get these stickers to put on your work. Okay, and he made me the liaison for the United States. Anybody that applied would have to go through me and pay the dues.
Fun.
So, oh, and then he had a newsletter he'd send out. So, over the years, I'd have to, right after the flower show, I would have to fax them to Japan the results of the show, the winners and all, so they wouldn't look dumb and not know.
Right, like international, right?
Right. So we did that for years and years. And then, actually, it was about 3 years after we started this, he wanted to have a big exhibit in London, because he made good friends with the English ladies.
Okay. Wow.
And so he asked me to go and be a judge. So there I got a trip to London. One to Japan, then one to London. Just for doing flowers.
Works.
See,
works.
you never know, right?
That's right.
What gets you into something.
That's right.
So now, all these years, I was still doing it. I still do it, mostly.
Yeah.
One time a year.
And a lot more to come, hopefully.
Well, so I had stopped the newsletter after 80 issues. It was,
Too much.
too much with my garden, and, it's not just a garden. It's kind of my material that I use in my art. So I have to take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to plant it and pick it and press it, and, you have to get it when it's dry, or else it gets all moldy.
Right.
Nasty looking. So, anyway.
Well, that's quite a story. It's
Yeah.
still continuing. You still.
So for an almost 90-year-old lady, that's my fun.
Yeah, you have more fun things too.
Oh yes, and my grandkids
Yeah. Well,
and my cats.
we're gonna stop for now. If you like this video, Grandma wants you to subscribe.
Yeah,
It's
that would
free.
be nice.
It's free.
Yes, and we're going to have more episodes.
Yeah, I hope so. Cause
Do I have some stories to tell for
yeah,
you?
our next story is going to be about Brian. You said.
Oh, he's a nice story.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.